And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. May 7th, episode 29. Man, we're creeping up there, Kenya.
I know.
Love the Power Hour, Tennessee USA Wrestling Power Hour podcast. I am your host, State Chairman Mike Hatcher, National Champion co-host Kenya Sloan. What's up, Kenya? How we doing? What's
What's up,
happening?
Hatch?
What's going on?
What's poppin'?
Nothing. Lot going on. I saw you last weekend.
I
This is
know.
the podcast is dedicated to the state tournament. And tell you what, it was awesome seeing you. Even though you know what, this is the one cool thing about being able to see you now in the whole club atmosphere. Doing your thing and everything else. At these tournaments because I can see you. But then you're so busy because you
Yeah,
got so many
we
girls.
have
I don't get to talk to you.
No.
Shoot. And then it's like, oh man, I don't get to see her. So it is what it
I
is.
know.
And
It
then
feels weird.
it is what it is. But hey, got to see each other for a little while there, and pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah, it
so
feels weird when we see each other in person.
in it though, it's like, hey,
It's
I know
like, hey,
you.
you're real. Like you're not just on.
Hey, wait a second. You're that girl on that podcast. Wow. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, yeah. That's what you said to me. That was funny. You're like, hey, I think I know you. Are you the girl on that podcast?
Everybody always says, man, how long you two known each other? We go way back.
Way back. Yeah,
Way back.
that's funny.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. No, it's good though. But no, great tournament though, huh? I mean, I was going to
Oh,
ask you what's going on in your world because normally it's, this, that, and everything else. But since we got this full transition to wrestling,
it's all
I
wrestling.
know what's going on in your world. You
Yeah,
coaching
you know.
now?
Yeah.
What's going on in Knoxville? How's it going? How's the club? How the girls like the tournament?
Oh, they loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. I think that was actually I mean, I think it was my first time ever going to that tournament ever.
Now wait a second. You know what? Before and now I'm kind of unveiling like the team scores. So,
Okay.
but we're gonna do it. So we actually have 4 state championship teams on this podcast right now. Currently, we're talking right now. We have 2 from you. You won both, and Young Guns Nashville won both.
You
Give me
guys,
5. There we
damn,
go.
that's true.
That's
You guys
it.
dominated too.
Yes, we did it too. Yeah. But mine's kind of like and it's because we have a collective effort here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
We've got. I mean, it just depends on which ones they register in. I don't tell them which. I don't tell them register for Young Guns so we can win a state championship. I don't do that. But yeah. But we could have had. I was telling like Derek was giving me a hard time. Well, you guys had like Derek Harrison. You guys had like 47 athletes, guys. We only had 28 or 30 or whatever. I'm like, dude, we
It's like,
literally could have had like 80. So I mean,
yeah,
you're lucky we didn't enter 80.
that's true. I
You
mean,
know?
the same situation kind of for our club, though. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm very aware of the fact that most other clubs or most other females that are competing are like, or most other clubs that have girls, they probably have like a girl or 4 or 5. So,
Yeah.
like, out of all the clubs that had females competing, we were definitely probably the most concentrated. But because that's what
Hey,
happens when you have the only all girls club in the area, you know?
listen, you still got to coach them, right?
Yeah.
Still got to coach them.
Sometimes so.
That's why. So shout out to my assistant coaches because I couldn't coach all day because I was doing state chairman duties. So, so they
Yeah,
coached
your
the state
duties.
championship. So no, it was awesome though. I mean, it's like I said, it's friendly competition, I guess.
Yeah, man. How many
But
coaches do you take out there with you? You got to have a lot because you've got so
we get a lot. Yeah, I mean, my whole staff was awesome last weekend. I mean, yeah, they were great because I mean, I literally got there on Saturday and I wasn't there for 10, 15 minutes and I was already with my treasurer, Josh Sturgill, at the bank for like 2 hours doing
Oh, really?
USA wrestling stuff. Yeah. So I wasn't even in the building. I didn't even see any of the 8U,
14
12,
years.
10U, 12U, 14U,
Yeah.
14U and under. I didn't see any of it, which
Yeah.
sucks because I was, normally I'll show up at a tournament about noon. I actually showed up at like at 9:30, 10 o'clock this time. I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
but half of
all
it's
right,
already
I'm
over.
early.
Like, it was a
So
long
no,
day.
I know nothing, but no, yeah, yeah. So with the girl side, give us your perspective, kind of what what you thought, how things went, and then we'll bring our girls guest on who had a awesome tournament last weekend, and yeah. So give us some information here.
Yeah, it was obviously a super, super well run tournament. I mean, I
Mhm.
couldn't believe going into it. I was thinking, damn, I'm going to be in this gym until like freaking midnight, right? Like they had, so I only brought
Yeah.
girls for 14U, 16U, and junior, but still, we're starting like there was like completely total. There's got to be like 8 to 10 like different tournaments going on, like all within one tournament, pretty much. Especially when you consider you got like 10, 12, 14U freestyle, 10, 12U, 14U, or 10, 12, 14U Greco. And then you got 16, or you got, cadet and junior freestyle, cadet and junior Greco. I mean, that right there is pretty much 8 brackets. I mean, eight
Yeah.
tournaments going on all in one tournament. But the fact that we were able to get it in, I mean, I think I got to the venue at 7 in the morning and left by 7 in the evening. So the fact that we were able to wrestle that many like individual tournaments within 12 hours, I thought was like miraculous. So it was
Yeah.
run super, super well. Um, Happened to run back and forth between like two gyms. I definitely got my exercise in.
Oh yeah.
The only
Yeah.
person from my club there, but it was really cool to be able to watch my personal favorite style of wrestling going
Yeah.
on all day, and various different um, age groups and both boys and girls, and very, very like um, diverse skill level, right? Like you've got
Hmm.
kids there who've probably never wrestled freestyle before, and then you've got kids there that could be like, making world teams here in a few weeks, or maybe
What's
have
up?
already. So
I
it was,
know.
it's, yeah, so it was cool to see that much like diversity and talent. I mean, even within my own club, like the same exact deal. Like I've got state champions, and then I had athletes who didn't win a match, but they showed up and picked themselves up and tried every single time. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really great tournament for that reason, for like athletes to be able to come into the off season, and even though it's different style of wrestling, like there's something that we never deny, and that's that wrestling in the off season and having like a good freestyle and Greco experience to balance out your folk style wrestling is like what makes and produces the best wrestlers. So I'm very grateful that our state has such an organized off season freestyle competition schedule.
Hmm.
I don't know how many states do. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Well, I mean, we're trying. We're doing the best we can here, and with the resources that we have, we're getting more resources. We're getting more people involved in the organization every year, and shout out to, like you said, as far as you're talking about the tournament being run. We literally didn't have any dead mats all day. It was great.
yeah.
Shout out to Dale Bradford and Nelson Shirley, did a tremendous job there. It's just a shout out to Pete Miller and Jarvis Little and the whole Summit crew, Summit High School crew. I mean, for running just a great tournament. They do it every year. It's just man, I don't know. It's just getting, it might be getting too big for that venue.
Oh
We're,
yeah.
we're,
Well, I mean,
we're
from
looking
like
at other, I mean, we're looking at other places. I mean, we have to, and of course, I mean, that group right there is going to be definitely, the ones running it, they just do a great job with it. But it's just, I mean,
it's just
we had
big.
300, this was a record breaking year this year. Again, last year was a record breaking year. This year we had more. We had almost, I think we were right at about 540 freestyle entries. So
Wow.
yeah, and that's always going to be the bigger one. Obviously, Greco, I think we're in the 300s, that type of thing. But when you have 500 kids coming through, right now I mean, when I was here over a decade ago, I mean, we would struggle to get over 200 at our state tournament.
Wow.
Now we're at about almost 550.
You've been doing
And
it at the same venue ever since the start.
yeah, I think Pete's pretty much run it ever since I mean, all the years that I've been in charge of it. So his group's done a great job, and they continue to do a great job every year. And it's kind of like clockwork for them. So even if we found another venue here in Middle Tennessee, they're going to be very, very instrumental as far as the whole organizational side of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
very, very proud very proud of our Tennessee USA Wrestling organization, and yeah, it's awesome. So I'm glad to hear all the positive feedback from one of our state coaches. I love it. So, speaking of a great tournament, someone
Yeah.
had a great tournament, and we're gonna chat with her a little
Yeah.
bit right now.
Bring it
There
on.
he is,
Hi.
ladies and gentlemen. There she is,
Hello.
Senna Grassman.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
Senna, we have
What's
said your
happening?
name on this podcast so many times, like going through results
Right?
and people who perform the best at certain places. Like I've said your name so many times. This is my first time I've actually like.
Oh, thank you.
So it's nice to meet you and
No,
congratulations.
Senna, what you're supposed to say is like, no, listen, Coach Hatcher, Coach Sloan, I hear it every week on your podcast because I'm a diehard listener and I listen
Oh,
every week. I know I
yes.
hear
Yes.
my name every week because I'm always tuning in. That's what you're
Yes.
supposed
This
to
podcast is my alarm every morning. Every morning I wake up
Yes,
to
there
it.
we
Now
go.
we know you're right.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So yes, and all you listeners out there, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel before I forget. I always forget to do that every week. Can you?
I know.
Always tell them they can like the podcast. Like the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come on now, people.
I know. We could be talking about you on the show every single week, and you would never know.
That's it. Now you know, Senna. All right, take it away, Kenya. What do you got for this girl?
Thanks for joining us. We have Senna on. So there were only 3 athletes on the female side who won both their freestyle and their Greco bracket, and Senna Grassman is one of them. It's junior 120. But we chose to have her on because not only won both her freestyle and Greco bracket, but you had like really, really stacked brackets on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you were to look at her, if you were to look at the bracket and her performance and how she won each of her matches, you would not think so, because I at least was looking over your freestyle bracket again. I didn't get to watch all your matches, and it looked like you teched your way into the championship match and through it.
Yeah, I tried.
So if you look at the bracket, you'd be like, oh, her bracket wasn't that tough. But that's not true. You had some pretty familiar competitors in both of those brackets, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wrestled all those girls before, I think. Most of them.
Yeah, walk us through let's start with your freestyle bracket. Walk us through the matches you had in your bracket, or maybe at least your finals match, because I know that one was like kind of highly anticipated to watch.
Yeah. I was really just focusing more on like my progress in my pre-match warm-ups and stuff, because I've always really struggled with my pre-match. I've always kind of knocked myself out, or I haven't been eating enough or drinking enough. So I was mostly, every single tournament I've been going to, I've just been focusing on just preparing myself for my matches and only worrying about one match, one step.
Yeah. So how did you do that, like in your warm-up for this tournament compared to, maybe during tournaments during the normal season? Like, what did your warm-up look like differently compared to normal, or what kind of like self-talk were you feeding yourself?
Well, during folk style season, I did a lot of like warming up, getting up early and walking around, and especially with this tournament, it was so long. I wanted to get up so many times, but I forced myself to just sit down until like a few matches before, then I start warming up, but really just keeping my head in the game all day, and not being too distracted with other things,
Yeah, it can get so exhausting when you're like on your feet pacing because you're nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're doing that for 12 hours and you're like, this is
yes, it's awful. Back then I thought I was doing so good. I was like, oh my gosh, keeping the adrenaline high. Then I drop in my match.
Yeah. So, that definitely wasn't the case in your matches this past weekend. Like you were able to tech your way through every single match. So tell your finals match was a familiar opponent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your history with her.
Oh gosh, when did I think I was going to wrestle her for Who's Number One, my 8th grade year, but that got canceled. And so I wrestled her a few times at a camp, like that following week or something. And then I wrestled her a few times after that at just tournaments, and then Who's Number One again.
Didn't you guys compete each other at the state tournament, or am I confused?
Yes, she was also my finals match.
Who was your finals match in the state tournament, and how did it go that time?
It did not go well. She did really well on her side with her offense, and I was just gassed. I warmed up too soon. I got too excited too soon, and that was something I really tried to work on this time, is keeping my cool and keep my composure and just focusing on my match instead of winning.
Yeah. Do you think that like one thing and just changing your focus is what made the difference from like losing to her style finals versus beating her in the freestyle finals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you also think that the fact you're wrestling different styles made a difference, or it was like strictly just your mindset?
Just my mindset. I didn't really do much. I wasn't able to really roll her, so it was mainly just my feet work, and I didn't do anything crazy other than taking shots and stuff. So I think it's
how you win matches,
really just mindset. Yeah, exactly.
Take someone down enough times, and the next thing you know, it's over, huh?
Man, just your offense, really.
Yeah, you're really complicating this way too much. If you just take them down and just keep taking them down, and I think you usually win, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot who I heard it from, but
why is it such a difficult sport? Huh?
Exactly. You just get to your offense, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So, so after your freestyle bracket, you had a little bit of time. Well, not very much time, because I mean, pretty much as
No.
soon as the conclusion of the finals was over, they rolled straight into the Greco bracket. And
Yeah.
so you had a round robin for your Greco bracket. True.
Yes, I
It
think
was
so.
it was a little bit smaller for you. Was
Yeah.
Did you have the same mindset going into the bracket?
Not really. My Greco, it was a little rough. I was mostly just trying to get past the fact that I didn't want to do it. Um, I
Yeah.
forgot what else was I thinking about. It was mostly just I don't really even know. I was just doing it to get better, like get out of my comfort zone, really, because you need to
Yeah.
do it. Like I hate Greco with a passion, but you got to get out of your comfort zone if you want to get better. So
If anything gets you out of your comfort zone, it is Greco. It's like a totally
no,
different.
yeah,
It's like
no,
a
yeah.
totally different sport.
Oh my gosh, my dad signed me up for Greco boys one time at Ironman. That was the worst experience ever.
Oh,
Never again.
Thank God for other girls who stepped up and wrestled the Greco
No, for
tournament.
real. No, for real.
No, I completely understand. I mean, even going back into practice for me, the next day, all my athletes were like, "Okay, I think we need to like start working on throws," and I'm so just like not a thrower, like it's just not my thing, and so even it forced me out of my comfort zone. And I'm just like trying to continue to make them like not feel too uncomfortable about it, but I just had to be honest, and I was like, I also hate Greco because it's so foreign.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we do. But you're absolutely right, and I think that would be like such good advice for I mean, all the wrestlers that are on podcasts. And that's if something makes you feel like maybe anxious or like outside your comfort zone, being able to attack that thing is probably good for you, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. My dad always helps me with that because I never want to do it. Like, oh, Greco, are you sure? I mean, freestyle's enough, but he reminds me like you got to get out of your comfort zone, got to do things that are uncomfortable if you want to be better. Because when you're in these matches, you're gonna get against a girl that maybe's really good on or defense, and you'll have to do throws and stuff, and you're gonna be happy that you practice those, even if you don't really ever do them.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably the biggest benefit right there. I mean, she kind of hit on it. I mean, that's the biggest benefit in my opinion. And I've been coaching Greco for. I was never a Greco specialist by all means. I mean,
Yeah.
I wrestled a little bit when I was in high school, a little bit, long way back in the day. And but that's the biggest thing that when coaching it at the club level, I just think that the advantages are one, they're learning to get in positions that are totally foreign to them, which I think is important in wrestling, 100%. Two, I mean, you don't necessarily have to learn your throws, but you're learning how not to get thrown. So if you get somebody that is good upper body, especially in a folk style or freestyle match, if they go upper body with you, I mean, you can grab legs there, so kind of what they're looking from an upper body. They're looking for from an upper body standpoint, to where you can kind of combat that a little bit, just because you spend so much time in over under positions and 2-on-1 positions and stuff like that. And but I think that the most important part about wrestling Greco, and this is, and I keep having to even tell myself this every year, just to kind of really kind of get in the somewhat Greco mindset. I'll tell you, I mean, if you really look at like the high level Greco, it's all hand fighting and gut wrenches. That's all it is.
Oh yeah.
Talk about like the two of the toughest things in the sport of wrestling. If you want to get tough, you wrestle Greco, because it's basically like you just freaking hammering away at each other's head and digging for underhooks and digging for that on your feet and pushing each other and just hammering on each other. And then when you get to parterre, I mean, most of the time it's gut wrenches. So you want to learn how to gut and to fight guts. There's no better guys to learn from than Greco guys. No better guys.
Oh yeah.
No question.
Greco's rough. It's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of strength.
Tough sport. It's a tough sport. So that's what I stress to my kids. I think it's because they all have the same attitude. A lot of them have the same. Some kids like Greco a little bit more. I've had a really small percentage of the kids that really enjoy Greco. They like it, but the majority of them just don't like it at all. So you got to really find a way to motivate them and tell them.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna steal your speech for my club.
no, that's just, yeah. I mean, seriously. And honestly, I mean, when you start working with when you start working with the kids level, like when you start a kids club, honestly, there's no better style to start them is in Greco. Because think about it. I mean, they're learning how to throw each other, so that's always fun. I mean, they're learning how to throw. They love
That's
that.
what they
So
want to do anyway. It's just like grab each other by the
head
head.
and let them throw each other, and it's all good. I mean, they don't know how to grab each other's leg. They don't know how to change levels yet. They don't know how to do penetration steps yet. So all they're doing is just getting in there, basically doing a sumo match and teaching each other how to throw. And then when you're teaching a little kid like a little reverse lift or a gut wrench, it's a little bit easier transition. And then on top of that, I mean, And y'all know, I mean, the better athletes and the better wrestlers that we have on the national level are all the freestylers and the folk stylers, like all of our better guys. And that's just common knowledge. To get a middle schooler or even a younger kid or in a high school kid, to get them on that national level quicker, it's much the path to on the Greco is much easier. And I'm not taking anything away from the sport of Greco. It's it's hard. It's so hard.
Not as many people in it.
We just don't. Our elite athletes that come through our college system, it just doesn't transition real well with that type of particular style. So you can get the guys. So if you have a high school kid, or if you have a middle school kid that isn't on that like quote unquote national level yet, you can get them on that level a lot quicker on the Greco path. And then all of a sudden now they're a Fargo All-American, or they're a USA Wrestling, national or All-American at the schoolboy level. And then they're like, oh, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm an All-American here. And then they think they can compete in all the styles. Right. So those are the reasons right there. And that's my push for Greco. Because I'm not saying that I love Greco and that it's my favorite, but I have a serious appreciation for it. And there's a big need for it in our wrestling. So there you go. That's my take on it.
Maybe I should go back and start wrestling Greco now.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Makes it tough, right, Senna?
Man, it's tough.
Yeah. What's the toughest part about it? You think the Greco part of it? Why? What's I guess the reason that you just hate Greco?
I'm scared of getting thrown mostly. Like you go against that one strong girl and it's over.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the motivation for people in Greco. So they're like, I'm so scared to get thrown, so I'm gonna wrestle right now and make sure I have good position.
Oh yeah,
and that would be me for sure. Yeah. So I have a feeling I know what your answer is not going to be. We talked about your least favorite, but between the other two styles, what's your favorite style of wrestling?
I think freestyle.
Yes, right answer.
Right answer. You always get so happy when she hears that.
So why?
Yeah, folk style it's too much. Folk style, why are we doing all that on bottom? Like,
yeah, let's do the good stuff.
Exactly. It's also fun to like lock your hands and squeeze. Yeah. Not fun getting squeezed, but it is fun doing squeezing.
There you go. Motivation not to get taken down, so you don't.
Well, you just got to keep moving.
Oh, exactly.
Take it a lock. That's the best way.
Yeah. So this will be a fun game for all of our guests today. Let's ask. Starting with Senna. What is your favorite freestyle move? Like move that is specific to freestyle that you went to another style.
Ooh, okay. I don't actually remember what this move is called. I never hit it because I feel like it's kind of a dangerous move, especially because you're going like over your back pretty much. But you like get them in a front headlock and then you just throw them over. Yeah, I don't remember what the move is called, but I loved doing it when I was younger. I don't do it anymore because I think I'll get caught on my back. But yeah, that's my favorite.
That's
okay, if you do it more, then you'd be good at Greco. Because all you gotta do is pull your girl's head down, get it.
That's actually true. I haven't thought about that.
There you go. Your favorite move.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly. Maybe I'll do Greco.
Yeah, we might have a World Team Greco member right here, and she don't.
Well, even know. Let's not don't give Boskin ideas.
Start stepping people down and head pinching them. Ooh.
That's awesome. Well, Senna, other than your great advice of maybe stepping outside of your comfort zone, what other advice would you give to maybe young female wrestlers who are wanting to get better in this great sport that we love?
Okay, so when I was younger, I think a lot of girls experience this now. But when you're younger, especially as a girl going into like an all boys sport, you just got to force guys to go with you. Like they're not going to want to go with you. They're going to avoid you at all costs. And that can be really disheartening. Like I've not wanted to go to practices all the time because, I was afraid of getting left out of the group or like not having a partner. And then like, you're just the only one standing there, but you really just got to force your way in. Cause I promise you they'll just accept it after a while and you're going to get better working with guys. And I know it's rough, like, not having a girl to go with, but just forcing your way in and focusing on your training and not what anyone else cares about, like it'll take you a long way.
Man,
that's some great advice.
I think
thank you.
Many girls who like bail on this sport sooner than they should because they don't see anyone else like them.
It's intimidating. It's definitely intimidating. So you really just got to care about your own training, before anyone else's happiness about going with you, because who cares? Like,
Yeah.
you're literally practicing with me for an hour. Calm down. You'll be fine.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's because you've been wrestling since you were like 7 or 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you had to face a lot of that. I mean, growing up, there's not a lot of girls. So 10 years ago, maybe you probably didn't have a lot of females like you do
Yeah,
now.
I practice with boys a lot. I mean, I practice with boys a lot more now than I did in Washington, because girls wrestling was a lot more popular back there. But yeah, I mean, it was awkward at first when I first moved here, but you know, you get used to it, and they don't, but they're fine.
But that's their problem.
Exactly, they're fine.
You're
Like,
talking
as
to
long as
Kenya.
you're working hard, it's fine.
Listen, you're talking to one of the OGs of girls wrestling here in the state of Tennessee with Kenya. I mean,
Man.
there wasn't many options back then at all.
I didn't have a
with
female
girls.
partner until I was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
But we make it work.
We make it work. That's such great advice, Senna.
They
So
make it work.
Oh, thank you.
That is that's such great advice. That's great advice.
it really
'Cause
is.
that's
Thank you.
because I can see some of the some of the guys when when we got partners and then the girl needs a partner and then there's one guy left and he's like kind of trying to find somebody else. I'm like, come here,
Yeah.
go.
One
Yes, desperately trying to go find.
Just go. But I mean, because I've got some pretty tough girls in the room here.
Yeah,
So
you
Mhm.
I tell them, I said, you better be ready. I'm just telling you right now, she's gonna put it on you. If you,
Yeah.
is that why you're running? Oh, you're running because Libby's gonna throw you on her head, huh?
Man, exactly. They're scared.
Yeah. So I tell them.
Awesome. All right. Well, before we let Senna go, do you have anything else for her, Hatch?
No, man. I tell you what, she's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I see her.
Thank you.
I've seen her at a ton of tournaments, stuff like that. It's always great seeing her. Great kid, and she's a heck of a competitor and great representative of our fine state of Tennessee here. And we're just happy to have her here.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much for kicking butt and giving us something fun to watch.
Of course.
All right,
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
you bet. Yeah, thanks so much for your time, Senna.
Of course. Bye.
I know. She's a good kid. She's always smiling, always happy. That's always so happy.
It's so fun whenever you see when you get to know the person behind the athlete, because you see Senna on the mat and it's like it's business. Like I'm scared of her.
Oh, I know.
And then she joins us on our show, and then it's just like this sweet, darling little angel.
I know, right? It was like, this is the longest I've ever had a chance. I mean, I talked to her just a little bit at tournaments and stuff like that, whichever. But this is like that one. This is the first time finally digging into kind of what makes her tick from a wrestling perspective. And she's just so bubbly but you can see her at all the tournaments. She's like on all over the place, and I'm sure she's one of the social butterflies here in our Tennessee USA Wrestling organization, the membership, I'm sure. So great guest. And I mean, she's tough too. I'll tell you what, if anybody's watched her wrestle, she's doggone tough. That's no doubt about it. So that just tells kind of what we have going on here in Tennessee, which is a really, really great development side of girls wrestling for sure. So
I agree.
Yeah, I love what the talent looked like last weekend. I mean, we're just getting. I mean, obviously our membership and our numbers are getting bigger at the state tournaments and stuff, and our talent level is definitely getting much better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a big difference when you just have more people competing in the tournament versus you having like more good, solid matches. Like when you're watching 8 mats of actual good wrestling instead of just like having more people there, but we're having more people who know what they're doing. So, it was cool to watch.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, the boys side, I mean, here's Kenya and I we weren't going to go through every bracket of this tournament because we'd be here till Thursday. So
so
I mean, it was
just a big blanketed congratulations to everybody.
Yes. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to all state champs. And it's getting to be a bigger deal now. I mean, back when we were just scratching together 200 participants, at the state tournament. I mean, being a Tennessee, state freestyle champ didn't really, carry that much weight, just carry that much, weight to it. So, but now it's like it's especially at the high school. I mean, the high school level, we had some really, really, really tough brackets last weekend. We had some very, multiple state place winners, state, just all in the same bracket together. And before, and I'm just kind of giving people a little bit of a history, so to speak, with our state tournament and selecting our national teams and stuff like that. Yeah. When I first started, kind of doing this and leading up this organization, I remember we used to take one dual meet team. The very first dual meet team that we took, and this was the first one that Tennessee had taken for a long time. I know that the Memphis group put together, way back in the day, with like Nick Marable and that crew was there. They put together like a cadet team way back in the day, and this was the first one that we had put together in quite some time in Tennessee, and this was back when I think we had like Tucker Russo and I know actually it was a little bit older kids than that. It was like it's like the Hayes brothers, Chase Martino, a bunch of Chattanooga kids. Zach Watson that had went to, and I took him to the cadet tournament out in Missouri. And that was the first one we did for a while. So that first one I did, and that team literally had, I think we had like 8 or 9 kids, fill in like 16 weight classes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we went out there, we scrapped, and it was awesome, and the kids had a great time. But of course, we were severely undermanned because we just didn't have enough kids. And then the next year, we added a 14U team. So we had a 14U team, or back then it was cadet and schoolboy. So we had a schoolboy, and we had a cadet team, and that's when we really kind of started things. The momentum started going because that 14U team was guys like Chris Debian, Michael Murphy, Tucker Russo, kids that were very, very decorated kids, and they just wanted that type of competition going on those trips. So again, we went there with the schoolboy duels with literally a team of 7 or 8. We didn't have barely half the lineup. I mean, but we were scrapping the whole time. It was awesome. And then it just started getting more popular and more popular. And then pretty soon we were taking a team, the schoolboys, cadets, and juniors, 3 teams. And yeah, it was great. And, when Derek Harrison got involved a couple years after I got into it, he started being very, very active in the national team stuff too. So him and I, when we were state chairman and vice chairman back then, it was a much different. The landscape with picking our national teams was much, much different. We were actually, there wasn't no picking. There wasn't no people complaining that, oh, hey, listen, I won the state tournament, I should be the number 1 guy on here. Back then it was like, okay, hey, can you wrestle 145? Okay, you can wrestle 52. Okay, good. Let me call this guy. Maybe I can get this guy for 25. I mean, we were begging people to go because it was also very expensive. Because back then you could think, like right now our membership's creeping up around 2,000. So we have a little bit a kickback with the memberships, from our USA cards, and then we have a couple major events that we do as well with our state tournament and our Ironman tournament. So those are our main sources of revenue, which is our 2 major events and our membership. So those of you that are not buying USA cards and that are not coming to our Ironman and our state tournament participating, you are severely affecting our budgeting for national teams. And it is crazy because that's usually the ones that are complaining about the money that we cannot allot to kids for the national teams are the ones that don't show up to our big events. So that's a whole different tangent. So anyway, so now fast forward to now we're in a position right now where we literally have 4 kids in the bracket that could be a great first team kid on our team. In some age groups, I mean, we're going to most likely max out our junior team this year. I know Jarvis Little's in charge of that, and we're most likely going to max that out at 24 people. I know that, and we're definitely going to do it because we're obviously combining the 16U and the junior this year. But then also the 14Us, I mean, they're piling on pretty good there. And then our girls teams, they're going to fill those up too. So now we're rocking and rolling on our national team. But now, with that being said, with our state tournament, it's much, much more competitive. And we literally have, in a lot of weight classes, 2, 3, 4, even 4 kids that are very, very capable of being the guy, at that weight class. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. So that's a little bit of history on the teams, and now now we're even down. We got these 2 events that we do okay with financially, and Josh Sturgill's done a great job of getting our our bank account to where we can do some some pretty good subsidies. So we're literally sending these. We're, as a state association, we're able to subsidize the cost to where they're going to a trip to Tulsa for junior duels, wrestling, Greco, and freestyle at the boys level. I think last year's price was $300 for almost a whole week in Tulsa with rooms and entry fee and everything paid. That's, I mean, it's a pretty solid deal. I mean, this isn't like it isn't like another dual team tournament, where you're sending them the AAU sends theirs and they do a great job with sending their national teams up there, but that's just one folk style tournament. We're literally sending them to go to 2 tournaments, a Greco and a freestyle tournament for 5 nights in a hotel. It gets pricey, and we can keep that cost down to, in the 300s. It's pretty good. So but it's
Yeah.
getting, you know, pretty competitive now to make the team as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then it also just enables us to like represent better on a national scene. Like I feel like we've
100%.
noticed this theme of all of a sudden like Tennessee's winning like national dual tournaments. Like where did we come from? But I know
I
this has
know.
a big part to do with it because like even if we had the talent, but it was so hard to like if the fees to go on these trips were so high, then we're like probably losing wrestlers who would maybe make a
Oh yeah.
better fit for reasons like financial
Oh yeah.
problems.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And
we
I think
were. I
our
mean,
best
like I mean, when we were doing junior duels way back in the day, and this is when we can actually, before COVID, it kind of, you know, the whole getting kids in vans and driving them to an event. We don't even entertain that anymore. They if we get charter bus to it or the parents aren't, it's like our 14U girls, our 14U 16U girls trip this year in Indiana. It's basically going to be the 14U are all going to meet there. The 14U boys trip, they're all going to just meet there in Pennsylvania. You know, because the charter bus for the Pennsylvania one is just out of this. It's just way too high. But yeah, it's crazy. But you know, so we try to put the package together to where, you know, we could make it affordable for everybody. Because I know back like when we were doing the Tulsa trip way back in the day, it was, I mean, we were just trying to get it keep it under $800, you know. And now it's in the 300s. So it's, you know, it's yeah. So we got good stuff going on. Got a competitive state tournament now. So yeah, so things are good. So yeah, like I said before, I mean, 500 and I think 38. Nelson Shirley would probably correct me, but you're right under 540.
correct
Nelson,
you in the comments like last time.
Nelson knows everything. Everybody like texts me and asks me, "Hey, what's going on with this?" And I text Nelson, then I'll copy Nelson's answer to me. You know,
and you look like you know what's going on.
Nelson Shirley is like the ultimate jack of all trades. He is like the ultimate, like he is the ultimate ace in the hole when it comes to an organization. I mean, he's yeah. They come to the head table, they ask me because I mean I'm the state chairman. I'm supposed to know what's going on Saturday, and I go
look over at him.
Nope, he's right there. He's right there. Go see that guy. But anyway, but yeah, that's the boys side. Boys side, you know, we're putting together some pretty competitive teams. We had a great state tournament. Very, very proud of everybody that came competed. And we actually have this is so Kenya. We used to do we do everything Zoom. We had one in-person podcast. Remember Royce Alger?
Yeah.
So come on over here, boy.
Oh, what a treat.
Our next guest, our second in studio guest, right here. Pull up a chair, man. What are you gonna just stand there?
He's gonna sit on your shoulders.
He just happens to be one of my young guns kids, and everybody's gonna know this dude. This is like a mayor of Tennessee USA Wrestling. He's gonna be the next state chairman. I'm him to be the state chairman. There he is. Come on in here. That's it. Here we go. Cash Waymire is in the house. There he is.
Welcome.
Hello.
You know Kenya?
I don't think I've never met her.
Never met her?
No, we've
Okay.
not.
Kenya
Nice.
Sloan,
Nice
my
to
man,
meet you.
Cash Waymire. And the
Nice
only
to
thing
meet
that you don't get the little thing there. But everybody knows Cash. Cash, and if they don't know Cash, if you don't know Cash, Cash will introduce you. He will introduce himself to you. Okay, so you will get to know Cash at some point in time, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, I couldn't be more proud of a kid. You know, as far as you know, having on the podcast, because he's a long time coming with this guy. He's just done a great job. He's one of our Young Guns Nashville kids, and he wrestles here at Brentwood Academy, and had a big state tournament last weekend, huh?
Sir.
All right, yeah. I mean, I'm hard pressed to find kids that have done as much as he's done probably in the last couple of years for as far as, you know, the time and effort he's putting into his wrestling. So he's really done a fantastic job, and we're super proud of him here. And so last weekend, Cash, he had one of the tougher brackets in the state tournament last year. Won both the Greco and the freestyle side, just like Senna did. Yeah. And yeah, he had I think there's 4 state place winners in each bracket in the Greco and the freestyle side, and then also Trapper Lippincott, who's a dynamite wrestler as well. Did place in the TSSAAs, but also one of the best kids of the state as well. So they were all packed into one bracket, and Cash came away the champ in both styles. Nice. So yeah, how'd you feel last weekend?
Good.
Yeah, felt good. What was the key to success last weekend?
Just wrestling every match like they're the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, because last year, like state semis, I would say, like again when I wrestled Ollie Phillips from Baylor, I wasn't like ready. I was all in my head, and then completely changed right after that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, you looked like you were really, really dialed in and focused all day. So that was, I think that's probably a big part of it, huh? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, he's like I said, Cash came to me, 8th grader, plays at the state tournament as an 8th grader, and said, "Hey, you're doing freestyle program, right? In the spring." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm gonna do it." So all right, great. And ever since then, man, he's been on the schoolboy team.
Schoolboy once, cadet last year.
Last year, yeah, and he just came out of practice just now. So, he's
I
not even.
guess.
Man, that dude just came straight in from practice. That's how we roll here, Kenya.
Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us. I feel so lucky. We get to have you. We get to have you live and in person.
Yep.
I told him, I said the only live and in person one we've ever had was Royce Alger, and Royce Alger, for those of you who know, is an absolute legend. Big shoes to fill, Cash. You ready for it?
I think so.
You think so?
You're doing good so far. Yeah, you're doing good.
Yeah, he's doing good. So yeah, so Cash, what do you mean? So you're a year-round wrestler. I mean, no question. I mean, you don't do anything else except for you play a little soccer.
A little bit.
Little
I'm not very good, but
bit.
that was my last year of it.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of walk us through like kind of what your year looks like when, like, say for example, you start back up and start school in August. Like, what's your wrestling look like?
I'll go to Summit or Brentwood. Right now it's Brentwood because of partners.
Mhm.
Just go there. I'll go with Reed Lawful. He was actually in my bracket,
Mhm.
but I'll go with him there Monday, Thursday, and then I'll
Mhm.
come here Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mhm.
and then Fridays I'll text one of my coaches here, Tito Navarro,
Mhm.
and I'll get him in here and we'll practice.
Now, is this kind of like a year-round type of thing for you? Yeah,
Sure.
it's kind of the way it looks.
Yeah.
Looks like year-round, huh?
And then competition on Saturday.
And competition on Saturday. There it is, right there. So I mean, he does. He puts in a lot of time, and he really has a super ultra dedicated attitude towards the sport. So yeah, like I said, super proud of him. You had a great tournament last weekend. Let's talk about the freestyle tournament. The freestyle tournament was first. Okay, so walk us through that. Who was the first like real competitive match?
Me and Blaze Massey
Mhm.
got 4th at Big School,
Mhm.
113. I wrestled the first match. I got first takedown, and then I think I went for a gut or something, and I slipped on it, and he exposed me from that.
Mhm.
And I shot in again, got a push out, shot in again, got a push out, and then we went to break.
Mhm.
And then after that, I think I got another push out. It was a lot of push outs.
Yeah.
And then I shot it on a double, got exposure, and exposure again. And then I think I just shot a low single at the end, and then went for a lace, got reversed, and then we were neutral the whole time.
Yeah.
So it was 9-3,
Mhm.
11-3, something like that.
Yeah, good. Then the finals match, right?
Finals, yeah. I won it 11-0 in about a minute 30
Mhm.
against Trapper. I was just shooting the whole match.
Yeah.
Getting to shots and scoring.
Do you think that's when your best wrestling is, when you're on your offense?
When I can get to my tie, to my shot,
Mhm.
I think that's where I wrestle best.
Yeah, I think one of your coaches told you that pretty often, right? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was somebody. I can't remember. I'll think of his name. But I'll think of his name. This is why I'm doing this live, Kenya. That's the way I'm rolling. Actually, I could have probably changed the name on this. Let me see if I can do this. See what I got here. Edit name. There it is, right there, Cash. Okay. Well, look at this right here. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Who says that Coach Hatcher is computer literate?
I think I'm the computer literate one out of our coaching team here.
Maybe. Well, how about that for computer? Boom! Hey! All right. I like it. Okay, so the Greco tournament. Walk us through that one.
I wrestled Reed Lawful, my practice partner, first match.
Yeah.
And I just got an early headlock and pinned him with it. And then I had Blaze again. I let up first takedown, and then there was some call. I think we went for a throw and we're grounded out of bounds, but they called it as 1-me. So then we kind of got a little second to catch our breath. And then I went for a drag, push out, re-drag again, and locked up a body lock and 5'd him.
Mhm.
And then trap arm gut from there.
Yeah,
to take him.
It was a really nice fight too. That's really nice. It was nice. Yeah, no. I mean, Blaze. I mean, like I said, he was in. I mean, arguably, most likely the toughest bracket of the tournament. I mean, it was 4 really, really tough. Actually, 5 really, really tough wrestlers in there. So, really super proud of him. And he really wrestled. You know, his development's coming along. He's doing a fantastic job. So, yeah, love it. But so what's next for you? 2 state titles, and then what?
Well, hopefully, the junior team. If I can get a call, even though I'm a cadet.
Yeah.
And then if not, I'll have Southeast. Well, I'll have Southeast first, and then I'll have Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I think I'm going back to folk style for Super 32.
Yeah.
I'll probably the P&L events. I'll go to those with y'all and other ones that just pop up.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
A lot of camps.
See, told you this dude. He loves to wrestle. Loves to wrestle. So it's good stuff. Yeah. What do you got for him, Kenya?
Cash, do you have any advice? Give us some like mindset advice. It sounds like going into this tournament, maybe you had some like intentional thoughts because you knew you're going into a tough bracket, and you said that maybe last year going into the same tournament, like you kind of got in your head because you had some better wrestlers in your bracket. So like if there's other wrestlers listening, what advice would you give to them if they're going in maybe as the underdog, or maybe they're going against competitors that have beat them in the past, or they're nervous about someone they're going to wrestle? Like what advice would you give them to overcome that and wrestle their best?
Just treating every match the same, I would say, because it's a lot like me wrestling my partners. Like every kid in my bracket, I think I've drilled with all of them. 3 of them, 3 of them go to Young Guns at Summit. So I drill with all of them. So I was just trying to not let that control the match, how they know how I wrestle, since I know how they wrestle as well.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, wait, where can you go? Where'd you go? Uh-oh. All right, well, we hear that. Where's Kenya? All right, she'll be back on. All right, that's good stuff. So we got Fargo, we got Southeast coming up, we got Fargo coming up, and after that, then back on it for high school.
Yeah,
that's it. You want to give you back on?
Sorry, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
There we go. I don't know. That's it right there. We dropped you. Okay, but we're good now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So how's that for advice? Good, Kenya?
It sounds good. Yeah. I mean, I think I tried to give the same advice. Well, I had a coach tell me one time when I was just like losing my mind over a competitor that I had wrestled multiple times and had like gone back and forth. And he told me, you know, she's got 2 arms and 2 legs just like everyone else you wrestle. So why are you treating her any different? I was like, good point. That's like exactly what you're saying right now, pretty much. And it's so true. Like, you know how to wrestle. So why does it matter who you're wrestling? But it's easy to lose sight of that whenever we're nervous. But sounds like you've got it all figured out, Cash.
Well, he doesn't. I'm glad that you said that, because I know I've been saying that to him. I think his parents have been saying that. I think Coach Tito's been saying that as well. So now
maybe people say it, you'll listen.
And that we're kind of ganging up on you, right?
Put it together.
There we go. Good.
Awesome.
Okay, we asked Senna, so we're asking you your favorite favorite move. Favorite move, right?
Yeah. What's your favorite? Well,
what's your favorite style? First of all,
what's your favorite style?
Greco's favorite style. Ooh,
nice.
wow.
Okay, so then within Greco, what is your favorite like Greco specific technique that you don't maybe do in other styles?
Ducks, really arm drags and ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from the legs. Is that how you wrestle in folk style and freestyle too, or do you just get to show that off when you're wrestling Greco?
I go a lot of underhooks, I feel like, in freestyle and folk style. Like, I go my underhook to my outside step high crotch a lot.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
The
awesome.
best, yep.
I like it. See, he didn't hesitate. He knows what he's good at. I like that. No,
Awesome.
very hardworking kid. Love this kid. Like I said, definitely one of my favorites. And I'm like I told them all last week during our recruiting meeting here, recruiting seminar I had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody has. I mean, there's no all coaches have favorites. They do. You know who they are.
We're just not supposed to say out loud who they are.
They're the ones that show up the most and show up all the time and do extra stuff and make a big commitment to the sport. And you could have 5 favorites, you could have 50 favorites. Depends on how many of them are continuing to show up and do the extra stuff and do what's required of them and come with a smile on their face. I mean, he literally comes to practice every day with excited to be here. So.
I mean, he looks excited to jump on our podcast right after practice.
He's probably excited to go home right now because he probably feels tired.
It's dinner time. Well, congratulations on this past weekend, Cash. Sounds like you really did great.
Thank you.
All right, my man. Appreciate your time, man. Get home, get some food.
I will.
All right, and get a shower too. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll see you
See ya.
tomorrow.
You got it. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Yeah, he's a great kid there. Yeah. Hey, let me change this name here. I can't be having him on my screen. Got to edit my name.
He's gone.
But I learned how to do it though. Look at that, huh? Look at that. There we go. Let's do this. Boom. There we go. Kenya, we're back.
We're back.
Okay. Kenya Sloan.
You and I.
All right. Well, we got one more guest. And I know that we talked to somebody that was in the Olympic trials. We cheated a little bit with that one because she wasn't it's 100% Tennessee, but we claimed her. She's
We got
wrestled
her.
for King. Oh, that's the door there. She
That's
wrestled for Kings. We claimed her, just being that. But this one is 100% Tennessee bred. This is a guy like here. When you talk about like people that you talk about Tennessee wrestling at high levels, and probably two of the most well-liked kids. These are two of the good guys in our sport. We had the older brother on
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
You
And
know,
now
I
we
did
have-
not make this connection. I did some like
you didn't. You
I
didn't.
didn't at first. I did some social media diving.
We'll tell this guy then. There he is.
No.
How are you?
Nick Boykin.
How you doing?
What's happening?
Not much. Just watching some of the podcasts.
There you go. What do you think? Not
How
bad,
we
huh?
doing?
You're doing
How
okay.
I like it. I watched the one with Scotty a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Well,
I
that one
enjoyed it.
sucked. That one sucked because of gas, but we got better one now. I'm gonna keep saying that about your brother until he sends you that leg lace video. Came here. I had Scotty in here to do a camp last summer, and he did a
Oh, yeah.
lot of really great stuff. And I wanted to, and I didn't video it like I should have because I was running around doing whatever. And I had a parent ask me about some. Say, hey, one of the kids, hey, remember that technique that Scotty was showing last year at camp? I was like, oh, shoot. I said, let me just have him film everything. Just send me it. He said, oh yeah, I'll do it. He's yeah, I'll do it like 6 times so far, and he still ain't got nothing.
I'll get on him.
I'm sure Nick knows
You
the
know,
same thing.
isn't he there right now? Is he in Columbus?
He just left this
He
morning.
just
He was here for my graduation. So
Because that dude like literally called me and asked me he texted me and asked me a favor, and I said, I'll do it when you send me the video. Oh yeah. I'm in Columbus right now.
I think I know what he's asking for the address, right?
He said, I'll see if Nick will let me grab his legs enough to where I can do the video. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, then I don't know. You're under a rock here in Tennessee if you don't know this dude. But this is Nick Boykin, new graduate from the Ohio State University.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
finally-
Congratulations, but no.
Long time.
Oh man, some more of his accolades. He's obviously Riverdale graduate. And his high school career was out of this world. 170. You actually might be the most decorated high school wrestler I think that's ever came out of Tennessee. If not, I'm hard pressed to find him. 174-4, Kenya. 140
sure.
straight wins, close out his career.
What
3 times.
about the Cleveland guys?
I think Chris Devian probably had, but he had some losses there too.
Listen, Nick, when someone says that you're the best to come out of our state, just go with it.
All right, I'll take it.
But he's a 3-time state champ. He was Fargo national champ. Double Fargo national champ. We ain't had many of them. That's for dang sure. Junior world team member in 2009. He went straight to the Olympic Training Center. Wrestled Greco. We went to Ohio State after that. Been on multiple world teams. I could keep going and going and going and going. Pan Am teams. I'm looking at his bio right here. I don't know. All I know is that Nick Boykin's really good at wrestling. That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. Obviously, really good at academics too. Dude just graduated from Ohio State. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Saw it on your social media. So happy for you. That's so awesome. Not only that. Yeah, it took a long time. yeah, join the club. But hey, man, either way. And then on top of that, wrestled the Olympic trials last month.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I know it's not what you wanted. Obviously, everybody wants to, win the tournament, but you had a pretty dang good tournament though.
It was lost to the champ, and I didn't lose to him that bad. So I'm not mad, but I am at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's a love hate.
Yeah, love hate. Yeah, kind of walk us through like the whole I guess your whole bracket. I'm looking at your bracket right now. It wasn't like you're blowing anybody out except for pinned the kid in the semis, the Cooper kid. But
Yes, sir. So
that-
the first guy I ended up wrestling was actually he's one of my good buddies. His name's George.
Yeah.
He's from Florida. I've been traveling with him ever since I went to graduated high school and moved to Colorado. So I mean, he's hard to score on. I beat him 3-2. He beat me a couple months ago at Bill Farrell 1-1. So I mean, getting those points I learned from my mistakes at the first time wrestling. Second match, his name was Deontay Cooper. I've teched him before. I was the guy that was winning is Braxton Amos.
Yeah.
He ended up getting hurt. But this guy that I wrestled, Deontay Cooper, he actually wrestled for my brother. And Scotty was supposed to be in his corner, but he didn't go into his corner that day. that match. But ended up wrestling him, pinned him. He just tried to throw me. I just stepped over and just stuck him. And then third match, Joe Rao, that's the guy who beat me 5-3. Yeah. I was feeling good. But I mean, it's just he's smarter. He has more he's been there. He's been to that level plenty of times. I mean, he technically made the 2016 Olympic team, but didn't qualify the weight class. Mm-hmm. Qualify the weight class 2021, but didn't make the team. And then now he's qualified the weight class and made the team. So
yeah,
I mean, kudos to him. But then the next guy I beat was actually
that is one weight we have, because that weight is qualified, right?
Yes, sir. That's one of the. Was it 6 weights? I don't even know how many weights are going to.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So one of the 6 weights. I think we have three qualified.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the next guy is actually my teammate Tate Orndorff. He actually beat me like, I think you coached. It was cadet duels and junior duels. I wrestled Tate back in Florida and Oklahoma, and
wow.
He's beat me like 4 times, and the past year I've beaten him 3 times. So that was fun getting back at him. But he's a good guy. So that's who I've been training with the whole time.
Yeah, I would think that, especially in that Greco realm where there's not, I mean, obviously there's much more. We have a ton more competitors on the freestyle side than there is the Greco side. The circle probably gets pretty small.
It's very small. Like you're friends with all the guys. You're traveling overseas with them, and even if it's like a new guy, you'll end up making a good friendship because if a guy stands out, they'll take him to all the tournaments that they want you to go to, and I mean, you end up making a friendship. So it's a pretty small circle. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's wrestling's a small circle in general. Then when you start shrinking it down to that Greco side, it starts to get it starts to get real small. So yeah, you wrestled him for the true second match.
Yes, sir. It's true third technically overall, but true second of the challenge tournament.
That's right, of the challenge tournament. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because then Rao wrestled who in the
Alan Vera.
Oh, okay, yep, Alan Vera. That's right.
He's from Cuba.
Yep, Cuba. Yep, that's right.
Sir.
Got it. Cool. All right, man. Well, what's coming up now? I mean, obviously the trial's over. Are you you're still going down the competition route? What you doing?
So I'm going to stay out here probably another year, get a job, do some training in the morning. My goal is to do another Olympic cycle.
Good.
I just got to. So Sunkist, they dropped their program this year. So right now I'm in the search of finding a new sponsor. So I'm going to have to find that, get a new job to help pay for these tournaments so I can go. And then I'll have a couple training camps this summer. But as soon as that's over, I'll start my career path and still try and wrestle and make the next Olympic team.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you can go back for another quad.
Yes, sir.
That's
sadly,
awesome.
My body's hurting.
Is it?
I'm getting old now.
You're still young. I think they have maybe a 40-year-old wrestling in that Greco tournament. So.
They do. I think he's 44.
Something
That's
like
crazy.
That.
Mijan Lopez, a Cuban.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you got time. Your body's not old.
That's great. That's insane. I'm 51. I'm only 7 years older than that.
So you can still be doing this, Hatch. What's your excuse?
No, absolutely not. There's no way. I don't care. There's no. I wasn't even doing this in my late 30s. No, I have zero desire to go out and competitively wrestle anymore. I mean, at all.
I'm 24 and I think I'm too old.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I do yoga and lift weights, and that's it. Is it. No
What
more.
do you mean?
Show some technique, and that's it. I'm good.
This is what you have to
Yes,
look
sir.
forward to, Nick, after your career: yoga and weight training. That's what Hatch and I do.
Say it again.
I said, this is what you have to look forward to after your
Oh.
career: yoga and weight training. This is what Hatch and I do.
I'm not even doing any type of workouts.
So now, what type of career path are you looking at going on when you're later on?
Right now, pharmaceutical. Well, I got my degree in consumer and family financial services,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm going to do pharmaceutical and medical sales. Definitely pharmaceutical sales for the next year. I want to get into that medical sales route.
Oh yeah,
They make some good money.
yeah.
So,
You'll do well. You'll do really well with that too.
yes, sir. So I like
They
the.
gotta have some Buckeyes up there that have some sort of connections in that.
Oh, there's a
industry.
bunch. All of our donors are medical, pharmaceutical guys. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking to one of the donors right now to help me out.
There we go.
So,
That's good.
yes,
Let
sir.
that wrestling work for you, Nicholas.
Yes, sir. Get it started. Get it going until I have nobody to help me.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, growing up here in Tennessee, everybody here is proud of the Boykin boys. I mean, it's just, everybody knows the Boykins. I mean, it's just, they're like wrestling royalty in this state, and everybody just loves them. Not only for, obviously they were both just great competitors, but I mean, just outstanding young men to represent our state, not only, throughout our country, but obviously, Nick's been overseas. I mean, how many times do you think you've been overseas?
About 20 times, some places a couple times. I
Yeah.
could tell you. It's been fun. It's not like it's a vacation. It's like a business trip. So it's like you don't really get to have that much fun. But yeah, I've been to 20 countries, but some of the countries multiple times.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now explain to that, because I mean, obviously, a lot of our listeners they have really no clue on what like an overseas like world team trip would be, like either on an actual world team or just like an overseas tournament that people are entering in to get competition throughout the year. Like what's it kind of look like from adaptation, from the competition? I mean, everything.
So like let's say if we're going there for like a rankings tournament or just another tournament in a camp, we'll go there for about 10 days. We fly in. They make us stay up till about 9 o'clock, and then we're allowed to go to sleep because it's like an 8 to 9 hour time change depending on where you're at. And usually about the third day, so we get there, get acclimated. The next day we work out, lose our weight. The third day we wrestle the tournament. The fourth day we have off to relax and tour the city of where we're at. And then the next 5 days it's just brutal training. You're sleeping all the time and wrestling all the time, so it's pretty
Really?
brutal. It's
wow.
pretty. When I was I went to Budapest, Hungary, and we had 3 practices a day, 2 tournaments. So I was overseas for about 20 days.
Oh wow!
We got there. We flew to Croatia, tournament, drove to Budapest, Hungary, trained for 14 days, and then had another tournament in a different city in Hungary. So I mean, it's hard to have fun at those events overseas.
Wow, so you guys will double up on a lot of those tournaments then. I didn't know that, because a lot of times I see results and it's just like results from here, and then all of a sudden, that somebody's not competing for a while. But you guys will actually double up and train in between, huh?
Yes, sir. That's like usually at like January, February, like leading up to trials and all that. But that's like our normal schedule going overseas. Like for world championships, we'll get there probably 4 or 5 days early just to get really acclimated, and then wrestle the world championships the next 3 days, and then we fly out the night after. So it's a busy day.
Yeah, it's a straight up business trip.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I didn't make any world teams, because you sent me to Croatia. First of all, there ain't no way I'm going to go to any wrestling. That ain't happening. You're going to see me on the yacht during yacht week.
Oh yeah,
going around all the Croatian islands, and who knows, I might not be coming back. So I
was usually at the pizza places.
Yeah, I'm the last one to be taken on these world team trips.
It's a good time for sure. If you find a way to make the time, it's fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's strictly business.
Yeah.
So then, what's it like socially to be training with athletes from different countries and different cultures, like not just the people that you know from the OTC and stuff like that?
So they barely speak. Some of the people, they know a little bits of English and all that, but like these, like you see practices here in the U.S. are like an hour and a half long, 2 hours.
Right.
For these practices, like the one in Hungary, it was a 45-minute practice, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
basically you go in, you warm up your legs, warm up your arms, and then it's 40 minutes of live wrestling. And like the people you wrestle, like I remember we did a group of 5. I had an Olympic champ, a couple bronze medalists in my weight class, not in my weight class, in my group.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one guy just sitting in the middle for 5 minutes, and every 30 seconds a new guy comes in and just, it's a different type of.
Yeah.
But the culture there is it's very interesting. It's very fun. It's like it builds character, and I feel like I've been able to progress in my wrestling career with that. So it's been fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stuff our listeners would never. I mean, a lot of them won't ever get to experience.
I know. Maybe
And it's very beneficial. I feel like it's been very beneficial, just because you're focused for that 45 minutes, and that's that's all you got. I love it. But then again, their gas tank's not like America's, so.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's kind of what we're known for, isn't it? Like, I mean,
Yes, sir. Especially freestyle. Greco, not so much. Freestyle for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Kenny, you got anything else from my man here?
Yeah, we got a same question we've been asking our other guests. Well, I think we might have a good idea what your favorite style of wrestling is.
Yeah.
I would say folk style, but I just wasn't good enough at it, so it's Greco for sure.
Okay, well then within like Greco, like the sport that you've made it so far, and what is your favorite like Greco specific technique?
The number one move in the world right now is arm drag. So I like a good arm drag, but I'm also
the same answer before.
Yes, it's the number one move in the world. And then I love body
really?
lock. Yes, sir. At least for Greco, it's the number one score on move.
Yeah.
But that and body locks are always fun. So I love body locking people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I might have to. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to text you, and I'm going to have you next time you're in the room, because I know I had you here doing a little bit of Greco stuff a couple years ago, and you were doing all your arm drag stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So I would like for you to send me that video back, because I probably can't find it on my phone. Send it back to you, and I want to see which one responds quicker, you or Scotty, and then
I'll get
I
it.
know respond. I know who's going to get it to me quicker. It's definitely going to do. And I am going to write it.
I haven't practiced in a week, but I'll make the trip to the wrestling room here soon.
Yeah, just to do the video. And I'll tell you what, in all of Scotty's Las Vegas connections, anything I've ever connected him up, all his hookups are done, dried out. That's it. That's it. Nope. Hatch, can you hook me up with this? Nope. Not till I get the video. So now I even have this to hang over him. So your brother sent me the video for you. I remember stuff. It's awesome.
I'll get one into you.
Perfect. I'm gonna text you. Just don't open it. Just remind yourself or whatever. But I'll remind you.
Yes, sir. I'll do it Thursday, Friday.
Awesome. Love it, man. Love it. Well,
Yes,
man,
sir.
Nick, thanks so much for your time, man. We really appreciate you. And like I said, man, we not only appreciate, but we're like super, super proud of just what you meant to our state and represented, and just man, like I said before, I mean, definitely a state favorite here in Tennessee. And if you want to come sell some medical stuff here back in say Middle Tennessee, where you're from,
Hatcher knows some people.
Hey,
Probably.
listen, I know a club that you would be more than welcome at to come help out.
If I get this video of the arm drag technique, you can hook me up with the contacts.
Absolutely.
Level
Even if you don't send that video, you are still more than welcome to come.
Yes, sir. I'll be there some this summer. I might do a camp at Riverdale.
Okay.
But if you ever need, you're in charge of like the Fargo team, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are. I tell you what, do me a favor. Send me the dates that you'll be here, and we'll get you plugged in.
You send me the dates. I'm free all summer, so I have I'm just taking time off this summer.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
What,
whenever-
you don't know when you're going to be back doing something at Riverdale?
We're looking to do it mid-June.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yeah. Let me. I'll talk to our board and see when our training camps are. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Yes,
That'd
sir.
be awesome. I love it. Awesome. Good deal. Kenya, anything else?
No, it's a joy to have you on. I've actually seen I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I've like seen Nick in and out of places when I was like living in Colorado Springs and when I was training there some throughout high school and never knew that you were a Tennessee guy. So
Really?
yeah. Yes. So I'm happy I finally know we've made that connection. So we'll be able to connect over more now.
Are you still going to Colorado a bunch?
No, not anymore. I'm remember I do yoga and weightlifting now. I don't wrestle.
Shoot, don't let her fool you, Nick. She just started our first girls only wrestling club here in Tennessee, and she's
That's
crushing
awesome.
it. It's crushing
That's
it.
awesome.
When you come in and do come in and do clinics, you're probably gonna bring a bunch of girls to learn some Greco.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
I can't teach them, so send them to you.
Somebody right here, no better want to do it than there.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, cool, my man. We appreciate you.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Best of
All right.
luck.
You got it. Thanks, man.
See ya.
Man, he's awesome. I love those Boykin kids. They're awesome. Yeah, good stuff. Well, there we go. It's a wrap. Good stuff. Yeah, great guest tonight. We had a second in studio guest. Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Whoever's coaching this dang club here needs to start getting these kids, good at wrestling, not just having one coming in after practice every now and then. We need to have them consistently. I don't know what this guy's doing. Says, we have a podcast guest. I guess I got to start. This guy's got to start coaching these kids up to where they're doing good. We got more of them in studio. Consider this my studio usually.
Yeah, you're more likely to have in studio guests than me. It'd be kind of weird if I had someone in my.
Yeah, kind of weird there. Awesome. Well, good deal. I think next weekend. I don't think we have any. I don't think there's anything going on. I know a couple weeks. Southeast Regionals. You gonna be there?
I'll be there. You'll be there.
Yeah. Tennessee. By the way, all Tennessee athletes, make sure you get down to Southeast Regionals. I'm telling you, it's a more manageable. Let's just put it that way. Site for travel. It's just down in Duluth.
Yeah.
So so it's good, and it's my experience with the Southeast Regionals, and this is why when we had our Southeast Region state chairman meetings, that I was I was so much in favor of Atlanta hosting it. It's always had the most competitive Southeast Regional tournament there when it's been in the Atlanta, the greater Atlanta metro area, just because it's very convenient for for your Floridas, for your Tennessees, for your Alabamas, for your Carolinas, everybody to come in, your Virginias to get there, instead of going all the way from like having it in like in Alabama and having Virginia going all the way across, or having it all the way up. Like if we were to have it up here in Nashville, I mean, I would love that. I think everybody would love to have it in Nashville, but for the people in South Florida to come all the way up to Nashville, it's a long ways, can't ask for that. But right here, it's right down the middle of in Georgia. So it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great tournament. Can't wait for the competition. And so make plans to get there for sure. And get prepared to get down there and get after it and represent our state, in a big way. Also, if for those of you who don't know, one of the big reasons, not only just to go for the competition, but if you place in the top three there, this is from a Fargo qualification system. If you place in the top three, then you earn an automatic bid. So let's just say, for example, like last weekend, if you place in the top four at the state tournament, you get a Fargo bid for that particular weight class. So say, for example, I don't know let's just say 113 cashes. We get cash here. So we have four Fargo qualifiers at the 16U level in the 120 division. He was at 120s, I should say. So now let's say, for example, if he goes down to Southeast Regionals and places in the top three at Southeast Regionals, well, he's earned us another qualifying spot. So we actually have 5 qualifying spots for Fargo. And let's say, for example, if we had another kid goes down there at 120 and qualifies in that same 16U 120 freestyle, and maybe to place in the top 3 as well, so that earns us a 6th one. So we have all those slots for that 120 pound weight class. So it's really important, from a qualifying standpoint. We go down there, we earn some extra qualifiers because we are getting actually at the point right now where we are getting tight for qualifiers. When it comes to Fargo, before it was like anybody could afford it could go, but now it's like we have a lot of interest in the state of people that want to go. So
So then, especially probably if you didn't get to go to the state tournament for any crazy rhyme or reason.
Exactly.
Is this your last chance to be able to earn your spot?
No, I mean, we also have like a petition system to get in. You know, like we have a lot of our like elite kids. We have some really elite kids that go to the state tournament last weekend that are definitely going to be, you know, they've got some pretty, you know, pretty legitimate credentials. So we have a whole qualification system for our dual teams that we charge the dual teams with. And maybe that's something we'll go over next week. Next week, yeah, I'd like to have a couple of our, maybe, you know, our junior team.
That'd be great. Just like also educate our families and
educate
parents and athletes on
about the
what
rules.
this process looks like.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know, considering we don't really have any type of, you know, competition going on this week, I think that might be a really good thing for discuss on the podcast next week. So those of you that are still listening, you know, we get even a little bit more information next week. So that's that.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, Kenya, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
And great show tonight. Everyone, thanks for tuning in and listening. And everybody have a great evening, and we will see you all next week. Oh, also next week. Well, yeah, never mind. We'll maybe do a pivot. We'll see. Anyway,
this is called a cliffhanger. If you want to know what he was about to say, do this next week.
That's it. Tune in to our social medias. All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.